Hey, I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today. Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Yo, it's your boy Big Ev, a.k.a. the Double Vodka Don. I'm here with my co-host, Young Wayne Jetski, the SoundCloud King, producer Colin Coopers on the ones and twos, the real MVP of this podcast. We are 808s and Smoke Breaks. If you cannot tell by the way I'm talking, I'm a little high right now.
You're a little high. I'm about to be a little high. We just
A little tipsy.
We dabbled with some edibles.
Had a lot of edibles. Smoked some weed today. Hit the pen. May or may not have slugged a few brews.
You're having a fucking
So
Wednesday.
I'm feeling myself.
Wednesday's a good day. I always say to drink during the week. It's like, if you ever worked in the restaurant industry or like as a bartender, bar back, waiter, etc. A lot of restaurants, if you like go out, like after your shift, you'll go out and they call it Little Saturday on Wednesday because you work Friday night, Saturday night, and sometimes like it's a Sunday brunch shift. So Wednesday, whenever I worked in restaurants and stuff growing up, or when I was older in college, Wednesday we would always get fucking blacked out, and like all the bartenders, all the like the service staff. So it was always a good time.
I'm gonna be real. So we tape. This is Wednesday. We tape our college football show on Wednesday. We're in studio now because we're not on the road for a while, and we are sponsored by Bud Light. So they always have Bud Lights at our desk. My good friend Nick Bulkey, a sales guy, he always knows when he comes in. Bring me about 3. Sit them down. Everyone just kind of has them there for show. I usually drink mine. Maybe need a couple more.
Like a true man of the brand.
Like it's one of those things. Like you're sitting there, you kind of like the first one goes down kind of easy. You're like, yeah, like crack the second one, goes down easy again. Third one, eh. Fourth one, you're working on it. Shows about like about an hour to tape. So like pretty much like finishing the fourth one, like grab another one. You just kind of just keep it going at your desk.
I love a lot of people talk about the first beer and how good the crack of the first beer is.
Oh.
I think the second beer is better though.
No, yes, yes,
Because the second beer, like it goes down so much faster.
Good, like it just feels like it's meant to be, just meant to go there.
And it kind of just feels like that's when it starts getting natural. Because once you hit like 4, 5, 6, like you're not even tasting it. The second beer, I think, is one of the last ones. Second and third are probably the last two that you actually taste. But you start to feel a little bit end of the second one, and then you really start going. Were they cold, the beers you had?
Oh yeah, and don't even get me into the third one. Because the third one is just, now you're just like, especially when you hit that third one in about like 30, 45 minutes.
Because
like
then that's when you're committing to drinking.
That's what I'm saying, like 30, 45 and like fucking 3 beers deep, 30 minutes, like you're cruising.
Oh yeah.
Like you're cruising. You're at a 10 beer a minute pace. And that's casual. I'm not even talking like going crazy. You're just casually sipping, just banging them out, bang, 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 bang. All of a sudden you're a little tipsy.
You can still
6,
drive
7,
on
8
3
deep.
beers. Like you're good.
Probably
That's
not.
it.
Actually, maybe not in 30 minutes. Probably.
I'm saying you get to the hour mark, you start getting 6, 7, 8. You feel you're a little tipsy off a little weed, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, little bada bing, little bada boom, and here we are.
Fucking Little Saturday.
So all right, so this 808s and Smoke Breaks is going to be a little different.
Story time, right?
It's story time. So basically, pretty much since I started this podcast, people have been in my DMs, mentions all the time, asking me about the story of when I was kicked out of Coastal Carolina for selling marijuana.
Because the story of your mugshot went a little public when you were first hired here, like as an intern, correct?
Okay, so I initially, when I got hired as an intern, I got the gig, whatever. Talked to Dave, he said he wanted me, it was all good. That was obviously post catfishing and all that. That could even be a story for another day. But I came in for the interview, Dave said he wanted me here for the summer as an intern, got the gig. Then a week or so later, we had a guy that used to work in Tex. And he was kind of like, he was like the head of the Viceroy program, so he was kind of like my supervisor.
Not actually dead.
Yeah, he's not dead. He's actually a Marine right now. So shout out to you. Salute the troops. We'll do a quick moment of silence for Tex, even though he's not dead.
So he was someone who had been really good to me all year, really supportive, really kind of like, he was one of the first people to kind of like discover my talents and kind of be like, hey, like this kid actually is like pretty good, like making good content in the Viceroy program and all that. And no one had really done that before. So he gives me a call about a week later and starts asking about all these mug shots that came out of me from when I had been arrested, saying so basically what happened was I got arrested in South Carolina. I was selling marijuana. I was selling a lot of weed. It was my sophomore year of college at Coastal. I had just turned 19. I came in that school year. I always kind of been a little hustler. I always sold in high school, all that kind of thing.
But never anything of like a magnitude where you could get legitimately locked up.
Yeah, not to like this magnitude for sure. I was doing my thing, but nothing crazy. So
what were you flipping, if you don't mind me interrupting, in high school, like comparatively to what?
like I was picking up like co-ops, whatever. That could, like nothing too crazy, you know, but like just doing my thing. Like especially for like a high school kid, just flipping some money, selling for some kids like that were older than me that'd spot me, make my bread, smoke my weed for free, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So then my sophomore year of high school, I just saw the market my freshman year of college. Going down, being a New York kid, going down south, the weed was trash, really expensive. Like we're talking like $60 eighths for like garbage.
Damn.
And this is like, it's not even like this was like 20. Like I remember when I was like when I was really young, fucking weed was like be 60 for an eighth when I was like a sophomore in high school. So probably like 2010.
And that was probably the older kids, like,
yeah, exactly,
trying to scum you a little bit.
But like now, like it just wasn't like that. I was getting this shit for like 30, 40 back home with like gas. So they're paying 60 for like trash, and I was like, yo, like I need to bust a move on this. So when I came back my sophomore year, I had my own place because I got kicked out of the dorm my freshman year for smoking.
Nice.
So I had my own like dope spot my sophomore year with like 2 other kids that were sophomores. One other kid also got kicked out and for the same thing.
Not kicked out of school, just kicked off campus.
Yeah, kicked off campus. Like you just couldn't live in a dorm as you were a student there. Another kid that just got out of it, and then just another like random black kid who just was like kind of the other guy, which ended up kind of being funny because he just was nothing like us, super straight edge, and we all were maniacs.
Yeah.
But so then I came in, like brought in a couple of zips, whatever, started flipping, started making like mad money. I got with like one of my good friends from the year before linked me up with another kid who I became like really good friends with from Jersey, who used to get like pounds and pounds and pounds shipped in from Colorado. Fucking pancakes.
Oh shit! So you had a serious
wax.
plug. You weren't just flipping the dog shit.
No, I was getting the gas for the low.
Wow.
So then I linked up with him. He was my guy. Became great friends. So then once I started going, shit started popping off, making more and more and more money.
When you say making more money, like how much were you per week? Like a good week, how much were you moving and how much were you making?
So it's tough for me to really like, because obviously I'm not keeping an Excel spreadsheet of this
Yeah.
shit. I mean, honestly, I was a shoebox dude. Like I was literally just sitting there watching my shoebox just stack up with money.
Damn.
Just like the rubber band just keep getting fatter and fatter and fatter. Because I remember, so when it first started really popping, when I was like getting like probably like half pounds, and I was making like mad money off it.
Were you selling like even like dubs, or you were just selling
Everything,
selling
dimes, everything, like, and people were paying 50 and 16. Like, for example, like a kid would come over that I hadn't met before that a friend put me onto. He would come over, ask for an eighth, and just put like 60 on the table. No negotiation, said nothing.
Oh, damn.
Like that was standard. And I was getting this shit for dumb cheap, like normal New York prices. So I was just making like probably more than a 50% profit on my bud.
Damn.
Like stupid. So I remember like this one time I went to they have the dining halls and whatever. And at first I was having the money in my wallet. This was actually probably when I really first, like this was when I realized like I was like how much money I was making. Because I remember I pulled out my wallet and I just had it folded in my wallet, and it was just to pull out like my coastal like ID to like
to
swipe for my
into
meal
the
plan.
Dining hall,
And
yeah.
I remember I opened my wallet, and my wallet was so fucking fat. And I remember the girl, she just looked at me like
he got bread.
I ain't gonna. She was a little Southern black girl. She knew exactly what was up. Like she looked at me and she was like, she just saw a fucking loaf in my fucking wallet. So that actually was the moment I was like, all right, I need to start like
being smarter,
like putting money at home and shit. I'm just walking around with like 3 racks in my pocket for no reason. Like
damn,
like just chilling. So then I was still killing it, like making like a ton of money, like for like pretty much the whole semester. I was doing whatever I wanted. Like I would just throw like crazy ragers at my house, like buy like 2 kegs, like all this jungle juice, like would never charge anyone a dime because I was 19. And like when you're like that, like when you're making like thousands of dollars a week, like cash, you like no you can do everything. And like
you're hood rich at that
keep
point.
It a buck. Like your daddy's paying your rent fucking at school. Like it was cheap, especially it's cheap in South Carolina. It's like $500-600 a month for like a nice spot.
Oh, holy
nothing
shit.
like crazy. Like just paying that, everything's taken care of. Like I'm just making this money cash, hand over fist, do whatever I want with it. Started buying mad shoes, throwing all these parties, never collecting money for everyone else. I don't give a shit. Like shit, spend like $300-400. I was like whatever. Like I'm making that back. Like literally during the party, I'll probably sell more of that profit in weed. So it just kept going up. Like I was just selling like flipping pounds and shit. And then, so there was this one kid who, it took me probably a year or 2 to realize who was the one who ratted on me. So actually, I guess I'll go kind of fast forward. So I had this whole year I basically
You had a whole year where you were good making
like
money.
a whole semester, the whole fall semester my sophomore year.
Do you remember the most amount of money during that semester you had accumulated at a single point?
Probably
the highest, when you really looked like this is the most money I've ever seen in cash.
I'd say I probably had like 15, 20 racks that I just had money
On you. Yeah.
So
did you have a safe, or were you just putting this in the
a
shoebox?
safe? Yeah. So there was actually a point in time where like I had my shit in a shoebox somewhere hidden, some other shit, but then I had this kid who I really trusted, who I lived with the year before, and I think he ended up like fucking me. Because I would literally let him go to my room where I had like my smaller stash of weed, and I'd be like, yo, if I'm not there, like, yo, just go up, grab fucking
Couple
hook
nugs.
yourself up with like a nugs, like just leave like a 20 and call it good. And I would just keep singles in that drawer, and I probably had like 300 singles in there. I came back and like just all the weed was gone, that shit was gone. He hadn't hit me up, and fucking so I just like fuck. I remember I was so pissed. Like my girl at the time was over. I just grabbed her, got in the car, drove straight to the mall, bought like the most craziest safe. Like came back, like had all my shit like locked up, and then so yeah, I was killing it like all year. So we had Thanksgiving break, and I brought home probably like 10 G's, probably maybe not that much, maybe like 7 or 8. Like just brought it home with me and put it there. Still had a bunch of money.
Like when you're in college, and you have 7 G's of just like cold hard cash sitting around. You're fucking rich. Like you can't.
Oh, dude, I was doing whatever.
Any
I wanted.
party you want to go to, you're buying everything. Any bar you go to, shots.
And
everybody.
you don't realize because all your friends have like $100 to their name.
Yeah, I remember doing that. That's what I was doing.
Dude, my boys. Like, I remember my one boy got like a fucking his car towed. Like, yo, I just straight threw it. Like he was like, that's my brother. Like I just threw him like 200. I was like, yo, just get your shit out.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yo, no one has this money. Like I was like, your daddy's not. I respect him. I was like, his daddy's not just pouring money into his account. I was like, yo, just fucking buy it. I was like, yo, I literally just flipped bud.
I didn't have anything to that degree, but when I was like 18, 19, I worked at a bar in Fire Island, and like in the summers there, if you work the whole weekend, you can easily walk out with like $2,000 in cash. So that like I was making a lot of money, but not to that degree. The most I would have would be like 1,000 or a little bit over 1,000 to 1,500 after a week of like a 4th of July weekend. And I mean, I made a lot of money that weekend. I was kind of doing the similar thing, but I wasn't paying for my friends' cars. I was just like, when we would go out to bars, we try to get girls. Like I just had the cash. So I
always like I said, I was just throwing massive house parties and just dropping like 500, like crazy amounts of alcohol, jungle juice, kegs, no care in the world. Which is the fucking king of the neighborhood. Like, Coastal's not a huge college either, so you're just like people just know you just the dope. Like there was a lot of kids.
You're just the dope man. You're
just the bud man. Like you just got it. Like always.
And there's something different about having actual cash on you as opposed to like even now like, I'm making real money. Like we both have real jobs. Like. There's something different between me looking at my account and seeing like $3,000 in it or something, as opposed to having that in cash stuffed in my like sock drawer. You just see the physical like actual money, and it's so different.
Because I always just looked up so much to my grandpa. Like he grew up super super poor, had nothing, had like a decent job throughout my dad's life, then like saved like 40 G's, like his whole life savings, poured it into this like small forklift company that like is still like they're still doing now. I'm gonna be like the first generation that like didn't like do anything with it. But I grew up working there my whole life, and like now, and that was so funny because now then he kind of made some money like later on, and now he always had like a wad of he always
probably
had like a
no
wad of
bank
cash
account
in his
guy,
pocket.
right?
No, he's smart with this shit.
No, I'm saying like my uncle.
But I think
he
just had it so bad when he was younger. He just always like he likes to flex a little bit because like he really got it from the mud. Like so I remember he would always just have a wad of cash in his pocket. So there was something always like I always feel like I still have cash in my pocket right now. I always feel like I gotta have money. So that's why I was always just walking around with crazy bands and shit like an asshole, and just buying like tables and shit at the club. Like
that's sick.
Like I just didn't matter. Like I just had it like that. Like you just make it back. So then I get back from like Thanksgiving, whatever. Last probably like 2-3 weeks, we just got finals. So I'm just so basically the day of the incident, the day it all happened, it was the first day of finals. I had like 2 that day, 1 the next day. And I was driving home with like 2 other people that I knew that were like from like Jersey, like 30-40 minutes from where I grew up. So I had a math final like 8 in the morning that morning. I probably had like a half a zip left on me. That was it. I was about to go re-up. I finished my math exam. I get home, roll up a fat blunt. I'm just smoking it in my house by myself. So how we have like it was like a townhouse type shit. So you have like a living room, but it's all like you know how townhouses are where they're all like connected building type things. So I just had you had like a little deck, like the bottom floor is just like full living room, kitchen, all that. Like a half bath, like just like a toilet. Then you go like up the stairs, it's just 2 bedrooms. Up the stairs again, just 2 bedrooms. I was on the 3rd floor. I'm just smoking a blunt, chilling. Basically, when I finish the blunt, I'm gonna drop off this half ounce, go pick up another few P's, like come back to the crib. Final next day, you leave. So all of a sudden, I'm literally mid L. I'm just smoking the blunt, listening to music. I just hear like a bang outside. I look out my window, and I just see like a million cops at the door.
No way.
Million cops at the door. I immediately just looked. I was like, oh,
Heart sunk
fuck.
instantly.
I just threw the blunt. Fucking, I ran into my fucking bathroom where I had the safe. And I'm looking around, I'm like, fuck, like, what the fuck do I do with this? I just was.
You can't flush a safe.
I had no moves. The only thing that, with the amount of time I had, I really had no moves. I remember I just tried to stick it, like, somewhere where maybe, I think I tried to put it in, like, the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then I literally just come out, because I had, like, the shits are fire down there in South Carolina. Like, I had, like, a bathroom in my bedroom. So that was in my bathroom. I come out the bathroom, and I have a mirror on the back of, like, my door, on the back of my door. So a fucking battering ram just comes through. It was like a fucking movie. The fucking glass shatters from the mirror. It's all over.
You were El Chapo of South Carolina.
They come in like probably like 6, 7 deep, like just guns around. I'm talking like pistols, like
Just
machine guns in my legit like shotties. It was crazy. Coming like guns. Where are the weapons? Get on the ground. Where are the weapons? Where are the weapons? I put my hands up. I'm like, yo, don't shoot. I get on my knee. The one guy just grabs my arm, throws me down. I literally had a cut on my stomach because I just got laid flat on the glass.
Jesus.
So they all fucking.
Were any rounds popped off?
Yo, chill, bro.
Sorry.
Give me a little PTSD. What the fuck was that, bro?
For anybody who's listening,
They just shot a fucking Nerf gun by my dome.
we got these Nerf guns that like shoot like they're airsoft guns. I just popped the round off. A little desk pop, no big deal. Desk pop. I didn't think it was gonna come out that fast. I purposely shot it not at his head.
I said I got PTSD. Fuck out of here. These motherfuckers really pointed shotties like at my dome.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. So they bring me downstairs. Like finally they like arrest me, bring me downstairs. So crazy thing. So this kid I was like really good friends with my freshman year, who lived in the sophomore year. He started going down like a real bad path. Like shit got crazy with like drugs in South Carolina, everything. I didn't realize he had been a pill addict like one time prior in his life. He was like a freshman, but I think he was like kind of starting his life over. Like he was like a 21-year-old freshman.
Ah, okay.
And I was like 18, like 19. So I think he got back into the pills again and shit real bad. He was doing like H. We like didn't really realize until later on. He just like wouldn't leave his room. We would never see him.
One of your roommates. He lived in the house.
Yeah,
Okay.
just lived in my house. And it was like a whole thing. Like I hated it. Like I was like, yo, I don't like. So then he gets arrested too because they knock everyone's door.
Yeah.
And like I remember the cop, the first he said to me about that, and I was like, yo, I don't fucking know nothing about that.
So he wasn't involved in your operation?
No, not at all. Not at all. We barely even spoke. Like literally, he just would not leave his room. I would never even see him.
Yeah.
But we just knew what he was up to. Like because you would see it every now and then. Like, So then the guy brings me downstairs. I was so pissed. I remember he comes down with his bag. He just shows me the bag. It's just my cash. Probably like 8, 9 racks, something like that. I was just like, fuck. And then he's like asking me, sound like you want to make a statement, whatever. And I just was like, nah, like I just don't like there was nothing like to say, like there was nothing for me to really say. Like,
yeah.
He was like, he basically was, I just was like, sure. He was like, do you want to like say anything about like the weed? Or I was like, oh, like where'd you get it? I was like, oh, like I don't know. Like just asking me just all like dumb shit. Like he knew I wasn't gonna say anything like there. So he ends up arresting us, and it's so crazy because like, I live in this like big development. So he has us outside. When I finally get like outside my house, there's like 20 cops there. Like all the people that live in the whole development are all outside. They're all seeing me just get it brought out in cuffs. Like
Fuck.
All these people, like they were all kids that I just sold to and shit. It was a whole thing. I ended up going to jail. So they initially were in a holding cell, and it's like a small, like pretty small room, whatever, like just one shitter. It was just like me, him, and this other kid. And it was bad.
Is this like a rural area of South Carolina?
No, this is
Myrtle Beach, right?
Myrtle Beach.
Okay, yes.
It was just low key, like kind of hood.
Yeah, I know. For
Like,
sure.
so-
Black Biker Week. I know. I've seen Katy Powers.
Yo, it's hood. so we're in this holding cell. It's me, the kid that I lived with, and this other kid. Both of them are jonesing on H.
Fuck.
Both of them.
Oh, just having withdrawals. They probably haven't gotten high in a minute.
He was the kid that lived with me was freaking out. The other guy was definitely someone who had been in the jail many times before.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
been in some jail cells before. He's fucking. They have a little buzzer in the room that you can call a thing, and he's screaming for Suboxone, all this shit. Like he's
Holy
like, yo, like I
shit.
need. He's like, yo, like it was crazy.
Wait, I'm sorry. The kid screaming for Suboxone was the other kid or your roommate?
The other kid.
Oh, okay.
But he wanted it too. They both were like, yo, like,
Damn.
dude, it was fucking wild. So then it ends up bringing like 2 more guys in, and then this other black guy gets in who's a little older, more polished. I'll get into it a little later in the story. We actually ended up becoming friends, kind of. But then there's this other guy who walks in who's just a piss drunk asshole, whatever. He's the guy who basically like, it was so funny. Like he goes in there all the time. They all knew who he was. He just gets like drunk shit, like drunk
The
in
bar
public.
calls the cops and
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly, all the time. And he just refuses. His fines to get out will be like $100. He just refuses to pay money, so he just works every time. He'll just work like a few days.
He'll
over.
do like a work release
Yeah,
program.
like over. No, like he'll just have to do work in the jail because it's like when you're in jail, if you work like say like this amount of days, you get like this. Like you get days taken off your sentence.
Oh, word.
So it'll be like pay this or do 15 days in jail. He'll just work and do like 5, not to pay like $100. Like it's so funny.
And I mean, he's getting free like fucking meal when he's in jail, right?
Yeah, I guess so. So I'm in there. So then finally, there's like 5 of us, 5, 6 of us stuffed in this tiny ass room. So they bring us to like general population because we were supposed to get court that we were in there for like a full like day and a half in just the holding cell.
Damn. What's going through your mind like at that moment? Because you're sitting around with fucking 15 randoms. How are you passing the time? Were you like just talking to people, or are you just sitting there pissed as fuck?
Everyone's just kind of saying their own shit. I'm just being pretty quiet. I'm just nuts. I'm just like whatever. Like I was just so pissed. Like I was just sitting there like fuck, dude. Like because I was just realizing I was having like the best semester of my life. I was doing my thing. Like
Making crazy money.
Like I just had mad money. Like I was partying my ass off. My grades were like insane.
Wow.
Like everything was going so great. I was about to have like I ended up taking an F in like all of my finals and still got like almost a 2.0.
Damn.
Like I was gonna have the best semester of my life. I had money. Like I was balling, just doing whatever. Like just having a good semester with the girls. Like everything. Like it was just like it was. I was crushing it. I was on the top of the world.
There's
bro.
no problem with saying you're crushing it.
I was crushing it, and then like it.
But
I just remember
every
sitting
star
there,
burns out.
I just remember sitting there, and I was like, "Yo, I literally the rug. I felt like the rug just got ripped out under my feet, and I was like, "Yo, it's all gone." I was like, "Now you're fucking. It just took away all your money. You're a fucking loser."
Are you thinking
your
like
GPA
you're gonna
stinks now.
have to leave school? You thinking that?
Oh, I knew immediately when it happened. I'm gone. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I'm out of here. Like I'm going home. I knew I was out. So then I'm in there. Then we get brought to general population, and I remember kind of making friends with the black guy, and he was, I guess he had gotten in a bunch of trouble before, but I think he kind of like cleaned up his life, but still had like basically was still facing a lot of old warrants and shit he probably like ran away from.
Yeah.
And I remember he's just in there. He's just like, I think at the time it happened, might have been wearing just like a Coastal Carolina like normal classic like college T-shirt, and I remember he was like, how old are you? I was like 19. He was like, you go to Coastal Carolina? I'm like, yeah. He was like, yo, daddy pay your rent? I was like, yeah. He was like, so what the fuck you selling weed for? And I was like, I don't know, like, I love the money, I love the hustle. Because I just love the hustle of it. Like, I just loved, like, people always just hit my jack, like, always just come through, pick up. You're just the bug guy just dishing money,
And
in
you
your
got
pocket.
and you got a little like
You feel so good
shorties
about
are
it.
coming through probably. Girls
Yo, no
picking up
doubt.
weed.
Girls are coming through smoking. Like, you end up chilling with them. Like, you meet so many people that way.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who the fuck you are. Like, doing your thing. And I remember he's just like, yo, like just cut all that shit out. Like, just saying all the dumb shit he did when he was younger. So we go to like general population finally in the middle of the night. And this is the point, it was like over bunk. So we had like bunk up with people. So I knew like I'm gonna be in there right now with somebody in the middle of the night. I'm just gonna be sleeping in their cell with another grown ass man. By the graces of God, the man that was in my room
Was that guy?
was a white man. He stood approximately 5'2" and approximately 147 pounds because he was kind of chunky.
All right, so you're basically the Bagel Boss guy was your roommate.
I could have killed him with my bare hands.
All right, perfect.
And there is no better feeling when you go in jail for the first time and you walk in there. Well, I guess not. I guess I had been like jail before, but like real like gen pop in that bitch.
Yeah.
That you walk in there and you're like, yo, I could literally cave my roommate's skull in. was kind of. I wasn't saying I was gonna do it. He seemed like a nice
But it's
gentleman.
just reassuring to
It
know
just-
that
it just
you
felt-
weren't in the other situation where you could have your skull
It just
caved
knew
in.
I was like, I'm the alpha.
Yeah.
I'm the alpha. Like he was like 65. I'm
Oh, yeah.
19.
And he
I'm
knew that as
fucking-
well. Like he
Oh,
knew
hell
the
yeah.
situation as well. So there was the mutual respect was made that you guys just weren't gonna fuck with each other.
Yeah, so I was in there for like a few days. I finally get bailed out. My dad just comes back. Like he basically like flew down there. We packed up all my shit, my car, bounced. It was just brutal. It was like that's the moment I look back on it the most. And I remember because I just was really having to fight through some legal shit. Like I didn't want to snitch. Like I wasn't snitching.
Yeah.
And like that was becoming like really difficult. Like my dad was really getting on me. Like yo, like because like my lawyer was just saying like you really might like I don't know if I was
Get
gonna go to
time?
like jail, but like it was because there they kind of like they put it in the perspective of, like a harder drug. Like it's just the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Weed is the strongest there. And so what happened was a kid literally came in and bought for me with a wire. And it took me like probably a few months, maybe even closer to a year, to like 100% know who it was. Now I know it was these two kids that were freshmen that were from Maine. And they would come and always buy mad weed. And then they didn't come for like probably like a month, 3 weeks.
So they got bopped somehow.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
They were probably selling the rest of the
and then
freshmen. I
came
bet.
back. Yeah, they basically were selling for me in the dorms without just on their own though.
Yeah.
They would pay me up front, and then I think they just came back the next time, and I think that was the time because I literally can remember in my mind the specific like the way they were looking. I can tell like now that I'm like I wasn't thinking at the time because I knew them so well, but thinking back on it right now, I can picture both their faces in my mind. They looked mad nervous. They were super kind of like standoffish. Like they weren't comfortable. The way they kind of handed me the money was super like, I don't know. Like now that I can feel it now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, and then I just went home and did community college for a semester at TC3.
Was the decision to get kicked out of the school from the school itself coming down to your parents like you're out? Like
No.
The school itself
Well,
definitely.
actually, crazy enough, I was thinking about leaving already. I was thinking at that time, basically my decision. I was gonna probably stay the next semester. I was either gonna join a frat or I was gonna go home.
Why
That
not?
was what I was thinking. Not go home, but I was just gonna like try to go to like somewhere like
Closer?
go to like a SUNY school, like go to like Cortland
or Oneonta, yeah.
Yeah, like
Do
somewhere
the same
like,
thing.
like
yeah.
somewhere like that. So I did that basically. I went to TC3. I basically went to Cortland. I like lived in Cortland, just took class at community college. Just hated there. Coming from Coastal, Myrtle Beach, crazy
Warm all
parties
time.
all the time, awesome weather, beautiful women, so much different shit to do. Was there for a semester, basically semester and a half, and I was like, yo, I'm over this. Like this sucks. Not doing this. Basically went home and just worked for my pops for like a year straight. Just did that. I was about to drop out. I was just painting forklifts, answering calls, sweeping up the shop, like all fucking painting fences.
How did Ohio State then come into the picture? Like,
So I took the year off, and I just like, I remember I sat down with my grandpa and my dad, and I was like, yo, like, I'm about to just drop out, and I'm about to just work here. And I remember they were just like, my grandpa immediately was just like, no. And my grandpa had terrible grades in like high school. Like that wasn't all his mom cared about when he was growing up was just that he had like good behavior.
Yeah.
Which I was the opposite because I was the fucking dickhead, but my grades were like not like were like decent.
Mm-hmm.
So then I remember he just was like absolutely not. My dad was like no way. So started applying to colleges. I applied to Ohio State. Wrote this like crazy like real but like definitely lying like a motherfucker letter.
and is this the shit from Coastal on your record right now as you're applying? Like, if they wanted to see it, could they like look at it?
I when I filled out Ohio State's application, when it says all the legal shit, have you ever been charged with anything? I just wrote no.
Yeah, because they're not gonna.
Because I don't want
yeah.
them. Because you have to realize with Ohio State, they're such a big school. If you think they're just looking at checking all these kids like criminal records, and
Yeah,
shit,
you're
like, they're not doing. They get so many.
Smart
applications.
fucking move by you. And you have your degree now?
Of course.
All right, he fucking finessed you, Ohio State. A felon went to your school and got a degree,
No,
and look where he is now.
not a felon. Misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor
We ended up getting it down to a
offender.
misdemeanor. I had to do all these like drug testing and like all this shit. But
All right, well that's great. That's a great way to. I think that should be allowed. You should be allowed to finesse college like that. If you were fucking 18 and got in trouble smoking weed or selling weed, you're fucking 18, 19, and you tell me like that should be put on my record for the rest of my life, and I shouldn't be able to do anything. You should be allowed to lie to college about having a weed charge.
Honestly, because I got in
Or not
trouble.
tell
I got in trouble in between that too.
Damn.
I got arrested again for basically like weed. I got pulled over on the highway going mad fast. I had like mad weed in my car. Like I had mad weed. I had like alcohol. I wasn't 21. Fuck. And I had a fake ID.
Sounds like white privilege to me.
No, and I know I'm saying, but I didn't have crazy. Like I had like 3 ounces.
Oh, okay.
I had like a couple grand in cash. No scale though.
That's big.
Big, no scale. And yeah, so I got arrested again like with that. I actually ended up doing like 3 days in like real jail there too because it happened in like a real tiny town court.
Upstate New York and Goshen?
Yeah, no, and way up in like Binghamton.
Damn.
Because I was on the way to Cortland. So when I went to the trooper barracks, they're like, "Oh, like you're good, like you have money, so like you can probably just bail yourself out and leave."
Yeah.
So they said because the fake ID is a felony, you can't get bail for felonies in a town court. So like we got to transfer you to the Broome County Jail. So like they did took me to jail essentially for the fake ID.
Fuck. And
So
they wouldn't let you pay bail?
And then they were like, you don't have bail.
They didn't give you like a bail.
They said we cannot give you. I remember that because the guy was telling me, he was like, yo, you're good. Like, no way your bail will be more than like, I had like 3 grand in cash. He's like, no way it'll be more than that.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, bet. And he was like, we'll literally, because they pulled me over on the highway. He was like, we'll literally just we'll bring you back to the barracks, check you out, and then just drop you off back of your car on the highway. So I was like, all right, bet. And then the guy, the fucking like judge just said, like, no bail. No, I was like, what? And I like went up to him in the I was like, yo, like why no bail? And he just explained it like felony, town court, like can't do it. Gotta be the county court. So then we ended up going to county court, and the weather, I was in there for like 3 days a week. The weather was really bad, so I canceled the one day.
What time of year is this?
December.
Fuck.
That's what my parents had. I got arrested 3 Decembers in a row, almost around the same dates.
So you just fucked Christmas up for 3 years.
It was always like December like 10th, because it was always like right. I always got arrested right before I went home for Christmas break.
That sucks. That makes it even worse. Because like fuck it, let it just happen in September, and I know the entire next 5 months what I have ahead.
It's crazy. So yeah, I got arrested that time too, and then I've been in trouble since then.
Is that before or after applying to Ohio State?
That was before.
Okay.
I think then that was before. I think. Yeah, it was, because I remember I applied a little after that. I applied to Ohio State, UCF, and I was actually even looking at going back to Coastal, but I don't think I would have actually.
That would have been stupid. You would have been hot.
I think it would have been fine. Like that way, I wouldn't have sold weed or anything anymore, so I wouldn't have really cared. Like I don't think it would have been an issue. I don't think I would have went back there, but like I just was having this like I'd only been to now there in Cortland, and I was just like, yo, Coastal Carolina was fucking amazing. Best pool parties, hottest girls. Always good shit to do. Like, class is mad easy. But then I just got into Ohio State. One of my best friends was going there. Got into Ohio State, like, within, like, 2 weeks. It was bananas.
Damn.
It's a lot easier to get in when you transfer. So then I, like, visited there. Fucking loved it. I saw the campus. Went out with my boy for, like, a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I was like, yeah, like, this is my spot.
Yeah.
The rest is history, bro.
So, I have a couple questions. Like, when you switched from like working every day, like even then making money, and then moved back to Ohio State, did any part of you want to start moving buddy again at Ohio State? Like, you had money, obviously in Myrtle Beach, and you had money when you were working home full time, I assume, and then in college,
because honestly, when I was working full time at home, and when I was going to like Cortland, I was still selling weed.
There we go.
So I still had a lot of money then too. Then at Ohio State, I finally was like, I knew I was like, this is like my chance. Like this is like. Because I went there, I basically went there a month before I turned 21. I did 3 years there.
Okay.
So I almost felt like it almost felt like for me it was like a new freshman year, just wiser, which I needed, because I just was such a maniac when I was like 18, 19.
And you're being like probably way more way smarter with like money, and also way smarter like knowing you knew how to do college.
I just came in with a whole new perspective, I just was ready to go. Like I said, I was about to be 21. I just didn't do shit that I knew I was gonna get like in trouble for.
Yeah.
And also Columbus was way different, because Coastal, they were like cracking so like cracking down crazy on that shit. Like literally anyone who got just a simple marijuana possession, anyone who got it, they were instantly like, "Yo, get that removed. You tell us who your dealer is."
Damn.
Like they went crazy with it. So like it was honestly, it was just a matter of time for me at that point.
Yeah.
I was just being hot, and the amount of traffic I had coming through on the regular was insane.
Once again, it's down south. Like
They were
be in New York.
they were watching me
even
for
Ohio.
a minute. They were watching me for a while. So, what were you saying? Oh, what were you saying before?
So then, when you were in Ohio State, you're saying basically it was like you were a 20.
Oh yeah. I was just ready to go. Like I was just like, I just knew what I needed to do. I just like knew just like handle my business. Like I still just partied, had a great time. I sold weed. Like I made flips here and there. I had connections that'll make flip here, flip here, make bread. But like I was never really just like trapping.
Yeah, I never trapped. I've definitely flipped before and like made flips here and there and like bought weed for like, I don't know, picked up like a half ounce and sold it like while I smoked for free and shit like that. But I never flipped any amount of weed to the point where I was making thousands of dollars of residual income. So
you know, my crib that second year was legit like the trap house.
That's sick.
Wow, dude. I hadn't been back to Myrtle Beach.
Should I do exactly what he did for like 6 months? So it'll give me a lot more to rap about. I think I should trap for like.
But see, then you couldn't work because I was legit like I was going to classes, but like
I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna.
I was such a late. I was your classic like 12 credit semester kid.
I did that all throughout.
So like you only have to, and then there's certain classes you don't have to go to. You literally end up going to class a couple days a week, and half the time I would skip. Like if I had a few plays coming through, I would just skip class.
Yo, isn't it so funny?
I was taking the money
when you were in
class.
college, how you would rationalize with yourself when it was okay and when it wasn't okay to skip class.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had class on like a Thursday at like 10, and we didn't have a quiz until like 2 Thursdays or some shit, and I'm like, do I really got to go to this class? And I wake up at like 9:55. I literally would say to myself, I was on campus like in a frat house. I would tell myself, it's better for me to skip class right now, like sleep in, go to the gym, or sleep in, have a good breakfast, and then like work hard the rest of Thursday, than walk into this class 3 minutes late. And I just wouldn't go to class if it was like after 9:55.
Honestly, for me, I was like, if it's raining hard outside, I'm not going to class.
I did a lot of that too. Yeah.
If it's raining, I'm just not going.
Like the professor's gonna like accept the fact that it's less bad for me to not go to your class than for me to get my Air Maxes wet.
Or for me, like coming from Ohio State, if you're in like a big lecture class, I'm just not going.
Hell yeah! How many kids were in lectures?
See, it was weird because I was a sport industry major, so there'd be some classes that would have like 30 kids, 40 kids, but I actually would like those because we would literally just talk about sports and shit. But the other ones, like just like math, like science, all that shit, a few hundred.
That's crazy. I would never go.
That's
literally why I was so bad at
there
math
would
in college.
always
They
be
didn't
at
take
least
attendance.
one person that could sign you in, like if they even took attendance. Most of them didn't even do it. Like those, I literally just would not. I would not even go like the first day by like my last year.
That's all your gen ed stuff. Like when you go to a college like that, the
massive
classes are all just gen ed stuff that everyone has to take, and then you get into smaller classes, even at a huge university within your like what you're studying.
Dude, I didn't have that. My school was like 4,000 undergrad. It's a small engineering school. It was like super nerdy kids or like high functioning athletes, and then there was also like kids who were good at sports, like knew how to finesse school and got fucked up all the time. Me. And then there was like some really smart kids. So even like people were competitive with class. Like I would go to class and people wouldn't sign you in. You'd be like, yo, can you sign me in? And they would just be like, you should just come to class. Like kids I would play lacrosse would say that to me. I'm like, yo,
what?
I was like, just fucking sign the paper.
That's
I'm not going to
cool.
class.
That's
not everybody. There were some
crazy.
cool people, but it was like a super competitive, almost like academic environment. Like I remember I was in like a harder version. I was so bad at math, but I was in probably like an entry level business calc class, and I would always just ask for the homework from like I would walk into calculus and it was like fucking hieroglyphics. I didn't know what the fuck a derivative was. I couldn't do it. I didn't take math my senior year of high school. I didn't need to because I took like AP the year before. So like fuck, I'm not gonna take math. I'll just have like a fucking, or I didn't take like AP math. I'm just gonna take regular math and sit in class and like jerk off and fall asleep all day. Not actually jerk off in class, but
I didn't have any math going into my senior year, like real hard math. So then when I got to college, like I would not know what to do. So I'd copy every homework just so I could hand it in because the homework got graded. Then I didn't know how to fucking do anything in class because it was just like fucking, this dude was like doing maze runners on the goddamn board. And then by the time the test would come around, I would just fucking bomb. So I would just have to either cheat off them in math. Like the only possibility was like cheating. There was no way I was going to be able to learn this math. Like I would sit with tutors and they would like, I would do problems. They would just be like, why are you doing it like this? Like it wasn't even like, no, you didn't carry the one. It's like, you have no idea like how to do math, kid. And I just had to start cheating.
We'll see. You need to finesse the tutors. So I'm gonna tell you a little story. So when I was when I was younger, I was very good at math.
So
Like-
was I.
Like I placed into like eighth grade math. So I placed ninth grade. So I took like freshman math. There's a eighth grader, like bumped all that, whatever. So I was done with math after like my sophomore year of high school. And never took math again. Put off like college algebra, like freshman year, sophomore year. Like that was even at Coastal. Like kept putting this shit off. Literally somehow ended up. So then when I had to test into it, when I went to Ohio State, I had to test like to see what math I was in.
Yeah.
I didn't have a calculator. I knew nothing about math. I couldn't remember it. I did so bad. I placed where I had to take like remedial math as a course just so I could take college algebra.
Damn. Algebra is easy money. Algebra, geometry, trig, easy money.
I just
Calculus,
didn't
don't get it.
I just didn't know. Like I hadn't done math in 7-8 years.
Oh, damn,
Like I just didn't remember anything. So I did intermediate algebra online over the summer, where my boy would just like I would pay my boy who was a math major just do everything for me, all my homework, all that shit.
Yeah.
And then he would just give me like I had to go in and take the exams, so he would just give me a fucking he would just give me a little like a review before it.
I'll tell you exactly what was on it. Basically,
he would give me enough that I could probably get like a 50 or 60 on it, like
Yeah.
just on a one-day thing. So I would do that. Finally, the last one, I was home, so I had to set up a proctor
Yeah.
through the thing to take it like at the community college. My mom is really good friends with the community college teacher who looked it up where she just gave me the test in her office and then just left.
Yeah, I've had teachers do that too. and they fuck with
So
you.
I was in there. I was in her office, like door like half open by myself. I literally no chance I would have passed this test. I just take my phone out. I just take pictures of every fucking page, send it to him, and just like, yo, like tell me the answers. And he was just rifling back all the answers, and I was like, yo, like I need the credit. I need the work. I was like, it's a big ass equation. You're just spinning a number back at me. Like I was like, I can't.
I should have done that too.
And then I ended up getting like an 82 on it. Like I never got higher than like a 57 on the test. So I passed. So then I ended up putting it off my fall semester. So I have to take college algebra my last semester. Never even went the first day. It's 4 days. It's like 2 days of lecture and 2 days of recitation, where it's like a group of probably like 30 of you from the big class.
Yeah.
And Tuesday's review, Thursday's quiz. So I would literally just go to recitation on Thursday, take the quiz, copy what the person next to me, hand it in, and just walk out.
Yeah.
Every time. Finally gets to the end of the year, or just take a few exams, like when they have them here and there. Come in the end of the year, I'm at a point where I'm like, yo, like I have to pass the final or I will fail and I will not graduate.
Yeah.
So I went in to see the professor, who I'd never been in this class before. I don't even think he would have noticed because there's like so many kids in it. I go in and basically sat down with him. I was like, dude, like I knew I had the internship here already. I was like, I got a job. I'm about to graduate into this college algebra. Like, I need you to do whatever you can do for me. So he explains to me, he's like, yo, like they will give me a percentage of wiggle room that I can give. He was like, I will give you my max. So he was like, all right, fair enough. So he was like, just come. He was like, as long as you just come to the review like tomorrow. I was like, done. I show up there, so funny. This girl that was a freshman that I used to like fuck around with a little bit. I see her in there, and then she sees me, starts like laughing. She's like thinking like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
I'm sitting like front row, dead center. Last day of class, had never been there once, and she leaves in the middle of it. She DMs me and she's like, yo, like what are you doing in there? And I was like, yo,
I've been in the class, I just don't come.
I was in this class. So I end up the next day, like whatever, or the day of the final, they have a like all day math tutor review from the exam was at 6. They have from like 9:30 to like 5:30. I went there at 9:30, popped a 70 milligram of Vyvanse.
How you fucking doing?
Just literally, I just had them. So I had all these practice exams, all these review problems, everything. I just would keep asking them coming over, and they would just keep like being like, all right, like just start. Like, go ahead, like, just do as much as you can. And I just didn't know, like, I was looking at this shit like it was hieroglyphics.
I know that feeling,
Like,
bro.
I didn't know anything.
And you got to look
So-
over on someone's desk to get, like, some
No,
idea
no,
of how
not
to
even-
start
no.
it, then infer
So
from
this
how
is
to
how
do that.
this is how you finesse them. You just say, I don't know where to start. But once I get into it, so then they show you to start it, and then once they show you to start it, they kind of just do it. So then probably after, like, 2 or 3 hours, I basically just, a guy that kept up with me, I basically just kind of, like, pulled him in, and I was like, yo, listen, I was like, I need to graduate, like, I missed a lot of, like, I was like, I need to pass this, like, I need air. Like, I was like, I gotta do this. Can we just, like, kind of one-on-one this thing? He just went straight chalkboard with me, taught me. I popped another 70, so I'm on 140 milligrams of Vyvanse.
What the fuck?
In the lab from 9:30 to 5:30. An 8-hour shift of just straight learning an entire semester of college algebra.
And this is the review, right?
Yeah, this is 9:30, 5:30. Exam is at 6:15.
That's the right way to do it, though. You're coming in hot.
I came in, sat down in that lecture hall to take that fucking final, and I already have like the crazy jig leg syndrome.
You do have
my shit was I was literally like, yo. I came in there. I was
let me
like,
eat that test.
I came in
bitch.
here like 15 minutes early. I was like, yo, I need to put what's in my brain on paper right now. This shit is only gonna last for so
Cooking.
long. I was like, yo, I need this right now. They gave it to me. I'm fucking writing this shit. I'm still kind of just copying off people, looking to make sure. I just buzzed that shit. I just did probably the first smart thing I've ever done taking a test in my life. Just everything that I knew 100%. I just did all the problems I knew. And because they have like the key of like the how many points for all the questions on the front, what they're worth. So I'm sitting there, I go through everything I know. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at this, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not at the number. I'm like, I need more.
Makes you realize how amazing Adderall is.
I was like, yo, like I need to keep going through this. And then I finally like, I guess I just did enough. I think I got like a 68.
Yeah.
Which resulted in me. All I needed was a D to pass. I needed a 60. I got a 59.1. He had like 2 points. So like that was like, so I got it.
That's awesome.
And I walked because I was fully prepared to have to make that phone call to my father and be like, yo, like
I'm not gonna walk.
Like no. They would still let you walk because everything you've been through. I was gonna have to fully be like, yo, like I'm not getting the diploma. Like I didn't graduate. And like my whole college journey, I've been arrested all these times. I've been at 8 different schools. I wanted to drop out. Like no one really thought I was ever gonna like pull it out. So that was literally, I can still say to this day, that was the happiest day I've ever seen my dad in my life.
When you got the diploma?
Yo, he was, because I was just such a problem child from when I was like a little kid.
Yeah. To
actually like graduate. And I didn't even get the tassels for it. This is how dumb I am, sort of blockhead. I didn't know I was the first person in my family to graduate from college.
Oh, and there's a specific tassel for that?
Because
I don't know. I didn't walk at graduation. I graduated late. I didn't walk with any of my boys.
I thought your cousins and shit counted.
Yeah.
I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college. Even though it's funny because my sister's 2 years younger than me, 2 grades younger. I beat her by 6 days.
Damn.
Her graduation just happened to be the next weekend. But your boy did it. And I don't know, that was dope. Seeing my pops like that, because my pops is not getting emotional like that. I couldn't, like, he was so, like, he was on cloud 9. They doubted me, bro. They were, no,
a lot of people doubted you.
They rode with me, but a lot of people doubted me.
It's good to talk your shit.
A lot of people doubted I was never going to graduate.
That's a great fucking comeback
dude,
story, man.
Dude, I still remember.
Peaks and valleys, dude, all over the place.
Dude, I still remember doing the fucking, because then so many of my boys like, were just working and shit. And I still remember even, like, one of my boys, even we got in an argument. I remember him, like me just having aspirations of doing sports media and all this. And this is like probably my first year at Ohio State, like probably like 4 or 5 years ago. Getting an argument with like one of my actually like good friends and him being like, yo, like you're just going to go work for your old man. Fucking work at the forklifts and all this shit.
Damn.
Nah, that's real shit. I keep my head though. I was like, nah, that's not what it's going to be.
And that's not what happened?
Because that's what everyone, that's honestly not even, and they weren't even hating on me. Like all my boys just tell me that when I was younger, I always want to work for like ESPN. Like that's the dream when you were a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like doing that kind of stuff. And I remember all my boys just being like, yo, like why don't you just work for the family business? Like, I don't know.
You making money, you be chilling.
That's what I'm saying. Like you had a great thing going. Like they got a good thing going. The business runs itself. You just kind of, the business. I'd worked there since I was like 13. Kind of step into that role after.
Yeah, but then I feel like you can kind of get lost in a cycle shit like that. It happens a lot out
when
in
I
Long
worked
Island.
there,
Like,
I
people
hated
just
it.
kind of stay there. They'll work a job out there, or they'll work like join a union. There's nothing wrong that you can make money, have a comfortable living, but like there's a lot to kind of experience.
I always had like I just always was a big dreamer, like a big visionary. Like I never wanted to work like a 9 to 5.
I feel that.
I always just wanted something bigger, better. I want to make a name for myself. I want to do something different, something special, something unique. Something that like it's not like that regular everyday thing.
Yeah.
From like when I was a young kid, that's what I always wanted. So I mean,
no, I feel that too. Do you feel like there's almost like it had to happen that way because there's nothing else? You wouldn't be able to like work in a fucking like do accounting for like FedEx or something.
My boys, especially. So shout out my boy Sean Bacorny, who I'll say shout out my boy Sean Bacorny, who was like my producer, video guy, everything at fucking Ohio State. I literally would not. I did ask want to be here without him.
Shout you out, Sean.
So he, So I remember him even talking to me after the shit all worked out, like when I
Yeah.
actually got the job here and everything. And I remember him just kind of be like, he was like, did you ever doubt it? And I was like, I don't know, whenever I was doing the videos at Ohio State, I just had like something in me, like I just was like, yo, like I know this shit is gonna work out, like somehow, like I put too much into it. And he would say like, he was like, he believed in it, he had his doubts, just being like, I think it's different when it's like you and he's kind of just like behind the camera, like there's a certain like, especially with what we were doing was so raw and everything, and so like we never done this before, no one in the bike race done this before, no one had ever like made this jump kind of thing. And I remember, and then
It was a smart move to make. Like, there's no one else. Yeah, you're right.
I kind of just went after it, and then I remember
everything else is just like tweets about like your fucking football team or making like memes about like another like school and shit like that. Like no one else was doing like man on the street type shit.
I would still say it's that way. Like I don't look at Vice Bros accounts or anything like that, but I would assume that nobody's still doing that.
I didn't realize
Smart
at
move,
the time I was the first person to do it, and I was the only person that was like allowed to do it. But I just remember going off that, just like I remember him just talking to me, and he was like, yo, like you could never do like a 9 to 5.
My
Like
boys
even
did that too.
them just knowing me back then, they were like, yo, like you just aren't like. And I said, because when I did it with my dad's, I hated it. I hated working there. Like it's the same shit every day. I can't do that.
Would you be able to do something like construction or like I don't know, work at a bar or something like that? It could you couldn't be the same thing every day. It had to be different shit.
Like I just want to be able to like be creative and just like do like I want to be able to talk sports. Like this is what I love to do. I always want to like be on a college football show is a dream, even though like when you're a kid you think I'm gonna be on a round table. I'm not gonna be fucking like giving picks and fucking
drinking beers. I think this is
like,
way cooler though.
Shotgunning beers.
If you had told your 8-year-old
just like
self
talking shit about
you could do
football.
that instead though, I think that you probably choose the beers and shit.
Fuck yeah. I think it really, it was funny because once I found Barstool in probably 2015, I knew that I was like, this is what I am. I was like, this is for me.
Yeah.
I was like ESPN. I was like, I'm not buttoned up, dude. I was like, I call fucking tuxes monkey suits. Like I was like, I don't do that shit. Like I'm not buttoned up. I'm not fake. Like I keep it a buck always. I don't really have much of a filter. I talk shit. I was like, this is for me. I like fucking around, being funny. Like this is what I do. I was like, this is more. I was like, this is for me. And once I saw that, like I was all in.
I just think it's crazy how we have like that environment and like people that like we watched growing up, like fucking think about like being Willie's like cameraman or shit like that. It's like I watched this guy play football when I was like 11. I was probably like 13 years old when the Jets were like good for a little bit and shit. I'm like, dude, him, like Nick Mangold comes and like drinks beers. I'm like, bro, I have Nick Mangold's like phone number. It's just crazy.
I said to my cousin last night, I literally said, it's bizarre to me the fact that like I was able to come in yesterday, same thing, talk with Willie Colon, who I used to watch on TV, about the New York Jets and how much like we suck
and how much we hate being Jets fans. He's like, dude, I fucking know it too.
He's like, I don't have the answers, Colin.
They suck.
I'm like, give me something, please. And it's like, I don't know.
It's so lucky for him that he was a Steeler and he won a Super Bowl with the Steelers though, because I mean they're not doing great either. But he could just
but still, he's a Super Bowl champ, bro.
And Steelers is such more of a proud organization than the fucking pitiful Jets.
That's what it's crazy. Just all the shit, like even. Like we talked about it with, Willie is a crazy one too, because I remember watching him all the time, and now just being like boys with him, have his number. We talk every day. Like, been to his house a bunch of times. Like he's just a great dude. Even just funny shit like Lisa Ann. Like I talk to Lisa Ann like every week.
Yeah,
I've beat off to her so many fucking times. Like that's just a fact.
Do you still, since you have like developed a platonic relationship?
Yeah, I've beat off to her since for sure. She's gonna be on the podcast. She told me she would come on whenever.
She needs to come on.
No, I want it to be in person. So when she's in the city,
she called me out when she was on Breakfast for. I said I was a big fan, and I like shook her hand. They're like, "Is this the big?" She's like, "Is this your big fan hand?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Your big fan hand." I'm like, "Oh, the hand."
That's
that I beat
so
off
funny.
Yes, it is.
And fucking who's I just gonna say? Fuck, I forgot.
The amount of porn stars we've had traffic through here in a little bit is kind of surprising. Like that Phoenix Marie was here the other day. Like, it's crazy how they're like real people and they're just like fun, like flirty girls, and I'm just like, yo, you're so hot. This is why you're a porn star.
And
I would love to fuck you.
Just crazy. I just shot the shit with Chris Bosch yesterday for a second.
Yeah, Chris Bosch is the fucking man.
Chris Bosch, fucking
he was so cool,
dude. I mean, so many people. Like even I was saying on the podcast last week, like literally when I was sweeping up the shop, like literally Rude Jude was all I had. Deadass. That was my guy. and we chopped it up with him for like he was just the coolest guy. Like that was crazy for me still.
Yeah.
He threw me the follow on the gram. Shout out to him.
Damn, shout out to
Yeah,
you.
he followed our page too.
Yo, he's the man. Like just so many like little things. And those are even like little things. There's so many. Like there's a million more things that
Yeah.
just traveling all over the country, flying in these fucking jets. Like I don't like it's ridiculous.
The PJ thing's crazy.
Like flying the
I wanna
private
go to
jets on the
fucking PJ.
regular, like traveling all over, doing these college shows. Like when we were in Penn State this weekend, me, Marty, and Roan, they literally treated us like we were rock stars, dude.
Penn State's
Like gods. Like everywhere we went, people were just hounding us everywhere. We went to this Champs, like it was like the big, like their
I've been to
best
Champs.
bar. We literally had like a VIP at the top that it was like just these people were rabid. There was people waiting outside lines for like hours.
Penn State's the most lit school I've ever been to.
They're at such stoolies. Like they literally were throwing shit up to us for us to sign their like sign their fucking shirts, like give them autographs, like
That's crazy.
just all this shit. Like it was crazy. Like just like a million pictures. Like just all these girls coming up to us. Like it was crazy.
I feel like Penn State's like just the hottest people, like girls from like
Yo,
New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and
there
Long
are
Island.
so many sexy
hot,
girls
dude.
at Penn State. It was
I
unbelievable.
love Penn State.
Because even at the college football show, it's usually obviously like more dudes. This one, a lot of dudes, obviously, but a lot of really hot girls.
I saw that video that they posted when you did the Stone Cold with the beers, and that one chick next to you was just so fucking
Dude, they're
hot.
all like all of them.
Yo, you
Oh,
gotta call Marty out for doing the fucking
Yeah,
wipe his
slap.
nose thing. He can't do that. I don't think.
that slat.
he did it. You seen the video?
Yeah, I know.
He went like, I was like, don't do that.
Yo, fucking so funny. So, and honestly, probably the coolest thing was we did this like natty thing where we dropped off like natties at like one frat house, and then we went to Rowan's old house where he used to live. He was a Penn State alum. So we did the frat house first. This place was like a parody frat. They were like the most crazy, obnoxious motherfuckers. They're jumping on top of tables, taking turns, fucking crushing beers over
Everything
each
you
other's
could have
heads.
wanted. Everything
Like,
in your
it was so
Animal
funny.
House experience.
That's why I put up the one video on Twitter. It was so like just guys being dudes because it's so funny. It's literally only dudes because it was like basically this is what the setup was.
It's funny
Frat house.
how the camera had like a light. Whoever
Dude, it was
shooting
so
with the-
funny. It was
with
like
the light
it
on
was like a frat house where the whole place was set up for a
Girls Gone
party.
Wild video, only
It was
dudes.
where the whole place is set up for a party that's probably gonna start at like 10. It was like 8:30 where it's just all the guys are there, just none of the girls. The party hasn't started yet. That was the environment, so it was so funny. Then we go to Rowan's, which is the
But you're
coolest
just getting
bar.
pumped up with the boys then. So that gives
No,
you more context. You're,
no,
like, you're ready
no.
for the girls to come over.
No,
You're all
that's
just
what- that-
like
it was so funny
passing
'cause
beers
that's-
around playing
that's-
Thunderstruck or whatever.
That's why I made the caption, just guys being dudes, because I just thought it was hilarious how it literally just all dudes. But nah, they were having plenty of bitches over later for show.
Yeah, they probably had a sorority come over like,
No, they were having like a huge house party. Like it just was like 8 o'clock.
oh, wow.
We were just early. Like that was just like the pre. I'm telling you, I've been like a bit as a guy in a frat. I know what that environment looks like. It's that 2 hours before the party.
Yeah.
Everyone's there at the house, but the party isn't starting for like 2 hours. So this is when everyone's getting like started to like
Getting drunk in your
pregame.
room. People are
Yeah,
drinking
get
their
drunk
beers
by
in their
yourself.
showers
Yup,
and shit.
exactly.
It's like you're getting your mood.
So we go to Rowan's old house. They didn't like know we were coming. They like me, Rowan, Marty knock on the door. They open the door and they fucking freak. Like they literally treat us like we were like the Beatles.
That's sick.
Like we come in, they literally have the Barstool guys are here. This guy comes running down, looked like he had just gotten in the shower, like hadn't even like watched, just was like soaking wet in a towel. He was like, yo, I just had to like meet you guys. Like we fucking were like drinking with him, whatever, crushing beers. Like Rowan was looking for, he thought he had carved his name in somewhere, he couldn't find it. We carved all our name into the house. He fucking, these guys, all these Eagles fans, they start talking fucking bang, bang, bird gang, fucking go birds, Delco. And it's so funny when they do that shit. I had no idea what the fuck they were saying.
Yeah, the Philly accent is actually like a different language.
When they were
They
talking
say
back
bagel
and forth.
instead of bagel, like Begel. I'm like,
Bagel?
This kid, shout out Matt Robinson. You probably don't listen to this, but he went to play lacrosse with me for like his freshman year. Then he transferred to Notre Dame or something. But he was a Philly guy, and he would always be like, "Yeah, you want to get a bagel?" And I'm like, I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about, bro?" Because I have a Long Island accent. I just like bagel,
Yeah, they say-
Baygel.
They say wooter.
But we have water. You getting your fucking water?
Wooter.
I say water.
It's
I
strong.
No, they say wooter.
Oh, yeah, it's a
Wooter.
water. New
You're saying
Yorker-
like they say they go
N-
woo?
n-
Like W-E-W. Woo.
Wooter?
New Yorkers have the water.
Yeah, I say water.
There's a water.
I don't say water.
No, I'm telling you, you'll realize it when you don't realize it. That's how like New York is saying. Because whenever I go to college, and people always say it to me all the time.
I think I have a problem with
Coffee. That's
I
what,
think
I'd say
coffee.
like coffee.
I think a lot of my
It's like
my
coffee,
O's are
water,
AWs.
Water.
I think like coffee.
Because you don't realize it when you ask quick go to the store, like, can I go to water? You don't realize you say like what instead of you say like water instead of like water.
When you talk like you're from Connecticut, you just hear cash registers ringing in the back.
What do you mean?
Every word, because these Connecticut are just these little rich frat boys.
What saying what?
When you talk, I'm just making a joke.
Jetski's just trying to slander me because I'm from Connecticut.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
pretty
right.
much. No, I'm kidding.
That is true. What were we talking about?
The one I didn't get was I hated fucking Pittsburgh accents, but that was a lot of accents.
Don't try and save yourself now, Jetsky. Fucking scumbag.
Honestly, I don't even know anyone from Pittsburgh.
I just know.
I don't think.
I just had I dated a girl who lived out like by that area, but they say weird things like they call themselves Yinzers.
Oh yeah, Yins. I did know that Yins.
Like, and they say like Yins instead of like what are you guys doing tonight? They're like, what are Yins doing tonight? So it's fucking weird. Midwest is a weird spot. I don't like the Midwest.
I like Ohio. Actually, I love the Midwest people are the nicest people.
Yeah, actually, you've had a better experience. I feel like 'cause you went to
Midwest people are the nicest people on the planet. It's just true. They're just super nice.
Milwaukee's a great spot according to you, right?
Just Wisconsin, period.
Yeah,
Just the entire state of Wisconsin. I need to go to Green Bay next. That's my next destination.
People have you been to Madison?
Me. What happened?
Have you been to Madison?
Yeah, college football show.
Oh yeah, shit.
I had a blast there. Madison was awesome.
Green Bay would be cool.
Milwaukee was awesome. Madison was awesome. I've had a ton of people like saying I need to go to a Green Bay Packers tailgate, which I would love to.
So we just recapped your.
That was story time. Let us please
your
comment.
Life story, basically.
Comment in the give us some feedback whether you like the story time, you don't like it. Let me know.
Yeah, we could definitely do a story
Because we
time
can do it
per
every now and
episode.
then. I've got a few. I can tell the story about when I got sent away. That was a crazy story.
I got some crazy stories
We've
as well.
got some serious, good, and some deep story time. Let us know if you like that. If you don't, be honest with us. We love you. I hope you love us. Let us know. Now, want to get into some.
We'll get into some fucking
Into some topics.
into some rap shit. So, we just heard Ev's life story, his journey throughout the college and the trap game. It was a good story time.
You think so? I hope the people enjoyed. Let us know, please. We want real feedback. I'm dead ass. Like if you thought that was trash, tell us. If you loved it, tell us. If you thought it was somewhere in between, let us know.
Yeah, I feel like we have enough life experience. Not a whole bunch of it, but enough where we're doing stupid shit. Like we could pretty much fill a 10 to 15 minute slot, either one of us, or longer per podcast. Maybe just give a little story from our younger days, or maybe our more recent days.
Yeah, let us know because we don't have to go. That was a super in depth one that people had just asked for me to tell for such a long period of time.
Yeah, I got some 10-minute
I finally wanted to tell it. I wanted to let the people know. But yeah, just tell us if you liked it or not. We can include that as a segment every week.
Talk about how like times you like pissed into a bottle and drank it or something like that. Weird stuff.
I mean, I didn't do that shit.
I'll
I've
talk
done
about the MILF that I fucked at my dad's restaurant.
There
Hey,
we go.
all right,
Okay,
here we
see,
go. All
everyone
right.
knows your
All right,
stories.
yeah,
I
no,
like
we-
story time. If you want
Yeah,
story
let
time,
us know.
tweet us. Or
Let us know.
some
Give us
shit.
real feedback. Yeah, DM us, tweet us.
Some
Let
words
us know
we're
what's
toying
good.
with.
Yeah,
Give a little revamp.
leave a review. But yeah, we'll get into the music set. Honestly, what I really want to jump into first, this has really caught my eye that I thought was so. I had such a revelation about it. The yellow card lawsuit over Juice WRLD.
Yeah, fucked. Very fucked.
Have you done your little due diligence on it?
You know me. You know I'm up on my fucking Wikipedias and my Googles and my YouTubes.
No, not even that. Just have you? All right, I'm gonna tell you.
That was a healthy burp. That was an edible burp.
It was, right? So I'm gonna tell you what happened to me yesterday. So me, Roan, and Robbie were talking about it yesterday at our desks. Later on in the day, I sit down by the desk. Me and Roan sit next to each other just for reference. So Roan starts playing the yellow card song.
Yeah.
That they are like, which
Melodically, the first couple bars are very similar.
Which when he played it without saying anything to me at first. He played it. He kind of looked at me. I kind of looked at him, and I just heard it. I literally started like singing in my head like I have these lucid dreams, and I just thinking I was like, yo, I looked at him and I was like, yo, like we probably listened to the first like minute of it. I was like, yo, that is literally the exact melody. The melody is identical.
It is.
Identical. The flow even is like very similar. The just obviously
Like
the
you could sing the
delivery's
Lucid
different.
Dreams lyrics over that little chord progression,
Dude, literally,
and it would sound
yo,
perfect,
to-
and vice
yo,
versa.
yo,
the
to the
Hollywood,
point-
it's what is it called? Hollywood Died is a song?
Yes, to the
By Yellow
point
Card?
that Robbie and Ron are talking about now. That they are gonna not acoustically, but like punk version of Lucid Dreams.
So who's
Yo,
fucking
tell me
sick.
Roan. Tell me Roan.
Genius.
He's
That's
Lucid Dreams.
That's
Yo,
awesome.
that'd be sick.
So, quick background though. I don't know if we explained it fully in depth. So,
sorry.
Yellow Card, the band from the early 2000s, punk rock band, is suing Juice WRLD for $15 million for interpolating, basically stealing the melody for Lucid.
From Hollywood Died.
Hollywood Died, and basically
using
interpolating it in Lucid Dreams. Interpolating means like you basically play the same melody, or you play the same sing the same melody, or play the same chords as a song, but it's a little different. Like it's basically just like copying, pasting is like a melody into a new song. And
crazy because for people who aren't like as familiar, this is literally the song that got Juice WRLD off SoundCloud into like one of the biggest rappers on the planet.
And the song also...
This song was a massive smash banger. Honestly, I'm sure anyone who listens to this show, like I'm sure you're very familiar.
But you know Sting sued Juice WRLD for 85% of the revenue from this song already.
Who did Sting?
Sting.
Really?
Sting, Shape of Your Heart, the Shape of My Heart. I think it's Shape of My Heart or Shape of Your Heart. There's like a chord progression, like or I guess almost a solo. Some guy just like playing a melody on a guitar, and it's the same like melody in Lucid Dreams, the underlying melody of the beat. So when they do the deconstructed for the beat, which is a YouTube series Genius does, where they explain, like with a producer, they sit down to the producer and he'll explain how he got the idea for the beat, what he sampled, what he used, what was going through his mind. This kid, Nick Mir, who's an Internet Money, it's like an internet producer super group. He's like done all of Juice WRLD's, a lot of Juice WRLD stuff. He's done shit with Drake, not with Drake personally, but just like beats he's worked on. He's like worked his way up into like that camp. Bunch of crazy artists, multi-platinum producer. He's like 19-year-old white kid. He in the deconstruction, he's like, yeah, I heard the song like Shape of Your Heart. I think he said he heard it at the end of a movie though. He didn't even realize like that it was a Sting song, and he like replayed the melody. He just from like committing it to memory, and made a beat around it, and it was what became Lucid Dreams. And Sting, when the song first really started gaining crazy traction, actually after it had gained traction, it was already like #1 on Billboard. He sued Juice WRLD, and they like. He didn't have to pay him anything. They just agreed to give him 85% of the revenue from the song. So, and Sting like said in an interview, like,
so they did have to pay him.
Well, they didn't have a lawsuit. They just agreed, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't get sued X amount of money. They just had a lawsuit, and they came to terms and settled, and that's what he got. And Sting was kind of like, oh well, I'm very thankful that like that happened. It's a great song, and it's gonna help pay get my grandkids through college. Like that, and that song's a crazy smash.
Dude, Lucid Dreams was an absolute smash.
So that's what makes me think like they're suing him for $15 million. I wonder how much fucking Sting's making that song. I wonder how much.
But you gotta also remember that's just what he's suing for. That's not like what he's gonna get.
They might settle like Juice WRLD just might not own that song anymore. You know, because then
he could even
Yellow Card could have interpolated like Shape of My Heart, even that like. Chord progression or whatever, or just like they maybe then Sting can come take that song. I don't know.
No, that's what I was just gonna say to you. I was just gonna say like if Sting already took 85%, he's gonna be like, yo, like this song was already taken from me. Like it's like you said, like it's like it's not even a song anymore.
I know. I don't think he's probably really like profiting off of. That's where it gets weird. Like if you're saying then if Juice WRLD did make $15 million at like any point from that song, does he then owe? Does he have to show paperwork then how much money he made off streams of that shit? Like, because if they're saying that like it's rightfully like the ownership of the song, like he might have to pay that. I don't know legally if that's how it works out. Because if I could see Juice WRLD even with 15% making like $15 million off that song. Or, am I crazy? You think? How much do you think Lucid Dreams is making?
I mean, dude, you got to think if you're putting in perspective that you're saying 15% would be $15 million.
That means
$100 million.
Yeah, you mean that song? Yeah, he did not make $100 million. Yeah, that was crazy. I'm sorry, I just lost my mind a little bit.
Matt's a little off.
But I feel like that song could have made like $30 million for the label. You don't realize.
I feel like. I don't know. That's a lot. I mean, it did get a ton of radio play, all this kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know about. See, because I feel like any number I say is going to be like very, very slightly educated, and like the other like 85% just basically out of my ass.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how much you can, like. Who knows?
We even did an episode. We did an episode on like stream breakdown. I still can't really equate something.
We don't know off the top of our heads how much it was streamed.
Yeah. Okay.
How much whatever it sold. Like,
no,
we
you're
don't know
right.
all that shit.
But do you think it's like from here?
But you got to think for him, like the most money they make is off like off just like performances. So like they can't sue for like the
it's because his performance
value skyrocketed because of that song, which
yeah.
that they can't take from him.
But I'm saying that doesn't mean they don't make a lot of money off streams. That the label makes a lot of money off streams. If you owned all your like masters and Juice WRLD was like doing the numbers he did, he'd make crazy money.
Fuck yeah.
I'm saying, do you think Yellow Card is right in suing them or moving forward with this lawsuit? Like, and they said the guys didn't want to do it, but their management was probably like, you know how much money you can make with this. Like, you did this song.
Did this just come up?
Like 2-3 days.
Because like I'm wondering when they heard this song, because there's no chance that if it's your song or melody that you've made, you hear it somewhere else that you don't recognize it.
Well, that's
So
the
I'm
thing. Juice
curious at
WRLD
what
has
point it
always
came
like
up.
said that he was a big, huge fan of emo music, big, huge fan of punk rock. Like his first interview that he ever did with No Jumper, it was like a 15-minute thing against like a green screen. He said that when he growing up, he would listen to. He mentioned Yellow Card in this interview. I know for a fact. He's like, Good Charlotte, Yellow Card, whatever. So one of two things could happen. He could have definitely been a Yellow Card head and just like subconsciously like heard the beat and like, or maybe not subconsciously, maybe thought like, damn, I could use the same melody kind of like this. Like
I'm
no
not
one's
even
ever
talking
gonna
about
know.
that though. I'm talking about from Yellow Card's perspective. At what point did they hear this song and say that's our fucking song? Because if you make a song and someone else copies a main part from it, you're gonna know right away. So I'm wondering who brought that to their attention, or did they see it, and if so, when?
It's a good question.
Because that song's been out for a while.
I mean, sometimes things like that take time because, for example, like you see someone like him.
It could be someone with their B cut of their
So
album.
that's what I'm wondering is
I'm
like
saying
if it's been a thing just not known to people.
I think potentially strategically they could have said, this song, they're seeing the way it's skyrocketing. They're seeing the way it's skyrocketing him.
Already seeing Sting.
Let's let his
doing-
career like move up, and then we can kind of like.
I can see that too.
Like get our ducks in a row, get everything together. Let's get our facts straight. Let's get things like
Let's catch a check.
pinpointed and get the evidence down. Let's go get the bag. Which I like. I love Juice WRLD. Like I love Juice WRLD more than I ever liked Yellow Card. Like I like Yellow Card is a bunch of great songs that I loved listening to when I was like younger. Juice WRLD's my guy right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, but it's just the music game. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, like I like this or this more.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't think you can fucking hate on him.
I don't think that. I don't think that has. I just don't think that has anything to do with that.
Yeah.
See, to me, your point is like from an agent's perspective. Like, I
Yeah,
feel like
exactly.
the band
Get
would
your
be
money.
like, "Who gives a fuck?" But the agents would be like, "No, let's like
Yeah,
wait
exactly.
for this."
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I said like strategically. I think that's what they were probably trying to do.
And I think Juice WRLD is swimming in cash right now. I think the kid's making so much.
Juice WRLD will be just fine.
I think he's gonna be post Malone level of like superstardom.
Eventually, yeah.
Post Malone's so rich, bro. Like so crazy rich.
Fuck yeah.
And his music just has insane numbers. And
Fuck yeah.
I think Juice WRLD's gonna be at that caliber as long as he doesn't fucking die. So please chill out with drugs. I don't know what his drug situation is, but he raps a whole lot about it. I'm sure he doesn't do it as anything to the degree that he talks about. But I feel this. I mean, if you're fucking Yellow Card, like if you can get money, it's not like you're fucking like scheming on someone. The songs do sound very similar.
Oh, I mean, it's just.
And if you want to check
Dude, I'm
referencing
telling you,
again,
the second round, we literally were like singing it like I'm telling you, when fucking Pop Punk does the version, does the Lucid Dreams version of it, like how like Rockway, it's gonna sound awesome.
that's sick.
Awesome.
Do you what's it called? Do you are they gonna do the Lucid Dreams lyrics over the Hollywood Died like live version? You know what I'm talking about?
Probably.
Probably
They were
make more
even
sense.
thinking about talking about like doing like switching it up, like say doing like the Lucid Dream like hook and then like the lyrics of the Yellow Card song, or like vice versa.
Did you write a blog about this?
No, I think someone else did.
Did you crack on it?
No, I'm pretty sure someone else, like someone did it like really, like I think someone else did it like really fast.
I might fucking not cuck you guys. I might release a SoundCloud version of Hollywood Died over cover the Lucid Dreams beat. Maybe do it in reverse.
You didn't say like send me the beat. Send me our 808 Smoke Breaks beat.
That one I can't give you. I can't. Oh, this I can't. If I do the Juice WRLD thing, I can't give it to you. But that beat, yes, I can.
That's what I'm saying. Send me that beat so I can write something for it.
I have it on my computer. I don't have it on my phone. My other
When you get to
computer.
your computer, send it to me.
I got you.
All right.
That was a little bit of music knowledge. We kicked it.
A little music.
Little different
We're
version
trying
of
to
the
switch it up. We're trying to do some different shit. People have been asking about to tell that story for such a fucking long time now. I feel like it's a cool story. It's a little different, a little unique. But yeah, please give us feedback. Please tell us what you think. Please follow us at 808 Smoke Breaks, Instagram, Twitter, at Wayne Jetski with 2 eyes, at Double Vodka Don.
If you just look up Wayne Jetski, there's a couple other ones, but you'll be able to narrow down which one's mine.
At Double Vodka Don, at Colin Cooper. 1, 2, 3.
Colin Cooper 123 Instagram.
Colin
The
Cooper,
Colin
1, 2,
Cooper
3.
on Twitter.
There we
The
go.
Colin Cooper with the.
The Ohio State who any of our gamblers out there, Ohio State lock this week. I
Yeah,
don't
you
care
should
what the
give a
number
specific.
is.
You should do a pick on this show once a week, and a specific pick that you only give out here.
Ooh, a different
A
pick.
smoke break pick.
Because see, I give multiple picks. Cause
I
like,
know.
Because like today I give a pick on the pick.
Obscure sports pick.
I
That's
do
what I
a
think you should do. An obscure sports
pick. But it's tough because like it's Friday. This is coming out Friday. I'll give a college pick. Well, no, I'll give you.
pick. Just do it on Friday, then you can record it on fucking voice memo and we can put it in. Unless you
No,
have one right
Just
now.
put it on our social or do it now.
Yeah, no. Fuck it. Yeah, take Ohio State. It's a lock. Ohio State is a football team. Do not bet against them. I don't care. It's at home. Wisconsin's coming to us. Their athletes cannot hang with us. They just can't. We're going to win this game by 20 plus points. The spread's 14. Ohio State lock of the week.
Is Jack Cohn going to hang his dong on you?
Fuck no.
He's from my rival high school.
That's fine because Chase Young's going to put his dick in his ear.
All right. I hated him. I hated Sayville.
Chase-
Fuck you, Sayville. I hope this guy does put his dick in your ear,
Chase
Jack
Young
Cohn.
is maybe the best player in college football. DN for Ohio State. He's going to be the first player taken in the NFL draft this year that is not a quarterback. He is an absolute monster.
All right.
Defense monster. Justin Fields is going to win the Heisman. Actually, sprinkle that too. Justin Fields plus 1,000 to win the Heisman. Easy money. 10-1, bitch. We'll see you next week. God bless.
Lock him in with your bookie.